Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, I will be taking you through one interesting indicator. The name is Guppy Multiple Moving Average, which can be shortened as GMMA. This is a combination which is derived using multiple moving averages of varying length. We use short length moving averages along with the long length larger time frame moving averages. So we have this spectrum of moving averages with varying length, varying time period, which are utilized to look at the price volatility. Using that, we can draw the inference how things are shaping up, whether the market momentum is bullish or bearish. So we can go into the details and try to maximize our probability of making profitable trade. If you simply do a quick search, type in Guppy multiple moving average, here it will appear in this box. And now I have added this on the chart where we are using the Euro USD as the underlying instrument with each candle period defined at hourly. If you look at this charting now, you will see these two differently colored moving averages where these blue colored moving averages are representing the short EMAs and these red colored moving averages are representing long EMAs. And one interesting thing to note is that you can even change the types of moving averages. So here we are using these short length and long length EMAs with these calculation period of 3, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, and so on. So you can go to the edit indicator option, edit indicator panel, and you can look at these default values which are being used for this plotting of the GMMA, whereas the applied price is a close price. You can always vary this price as well. And as you vary the applied price, you will see that there is a pronounced difference in the way these moving averages are plotted on the chart. As I'm varying this, going for high price or low price, you will see a shift in this plotting. So that makes this indicator more adaptable. You can go for customization as per your requirement. So whatever is your own trading system, you can try to adapt this formation so that it becomes much more favorable for your trading system, and then you can try to take advantage of this. Hello Benny, you can type in your query if you have any. Now let us go back to the chart and try to understand its basic functioning. So whole idea, the logic behind this formation is to figure out the volatility and the trend underlying momentum. Now, if we look at these short length and long length EMAs, we have these short length EMAs which are moving on the lower side compared to the long length EMAs, and that denotes the momentum is bearish. But one interesting thing to take note of is that in last couple of hours, we have seen the short length EMAs changing direction and starting to rise. That denotes. Okay, you have query on another indicator. Maybe we will deal with that indicator in next session. You can write in the chat box which indicator you want to be you want a clarification on. Now coming back to the GMMA. So here, if you notice this formation, so this basically tells us that the momentum which was strongly bearish earlier is now showing the pullback, and this might not be the time to get involved for a newer trade. So even if you are not going for any long trade, any bullish trade, you can simply close your existing position. You can go for a profit booking as the things are changing, the momentum is shifting. Maybe if things stabilize again and further on we see the fresh decline, fresh initiation of the momentum on the lower side, where these short length EMAs start to drop again on the lower side, then maybe that will be a more appropriate time to get involved and initiate the new trade. So that's how this basic functioning is. So if you look at this plotting here, we had this sharp move on the lower side. So this divergence happened where the short length EMAs dropped sharply on the lower side. But as the price momentum went sideways, we saw the convergence of these EMAs, and fresh momentum again came in later on. So you can simply use this formation for trade optimization. You can start your trade, try to initiate your trade when there is fresh momentum, and go for the profit booking when the things start to go sideways and the momentum starts to wane. So that is the whole logic behind this development of the indicator. And for figuring out the trend, you can simply look at the plotting. If all the short length EMAs are below the long length EMAs, that indicates bearishness. But if we go back in time, here we will also see the scenarios where the long length EMA was on the lower side and the short length EMAs were on the higher side. So that represents the bullishness. And here also, first the momentum was strongly bullish, but as things went sideways, the convergence happened, and then the change of scenario, change of momentum materialized with these bearishness creeping in for these Euro USD. So we can simply look at this plotting of the indicator and come to know if the momentum is favorable for the long trades or favorable for short sale trades. So in both the scenarios, we can try to optimize our entry and exit points and profit from these market moves, the volatility. Now let us look at the customization panel, what we can do for customizing this indicator. As I said in my introductory remarks, we can vary these calculation periods. Suppose, for example, you want to vary the length of this EMA, you can do that as well. You can reduce or increase the length, and as per that, this plotting will change. But since this indicator takes into consideration so many EMAs, you will have to vary this calculation period in conjunction with one another. You will always need to take into consideration all the EMA periods so that you can have these in sync with one another. Else, if you increase the calculation period of one EMA, but if you leave out all the rest of the EMAs as it is, then it will misfire. That is my assessment looking at this plotting. If we want to go for customization in color combination, you can do that as well, but there is going to be a complicated task as we have so many output values, so many output EMAs to deal with. So I would prefer to leave it as it is. Maybe you can go for brighter shades or even go for different color combinations. All these possibilities options are provided on this panel. You can even go for change of styling, width, increase or decrease. Transparency factor can also be varied. You can go for fully opaque prominent lines on the chart, or you can even reduce the transparency factor so that the indicator will be looking a lot less prominent on the chart. Level you can add, but I don't really feel that there are any levels which are going to be much helpful on this panel. Coming to the advanced editing option, recalculate on new candle only. Here, this option will lock in the price of these output values for the last candle. If you do that, so whatever is your starting price at that point in time, these output values will be locked in. Highlight the time period zone. Whatever is your calculation period, the largest calculation period, it will be highlighted. Calculate from custom data. Further customization can also be done. You can go for different instruments or simply use from the chart. Candle period can be used from the chart, or you can have a different candle period for this calculation. So all these possibilities are provided on the chart. spread side, you can go for ask or bid. Two options have been provided. Show indicator on all the candle periods. If you go for this, then you will have to specify on which particular candle period you want this indicator to be available, and only on those time frame it will be plotted. Now, as I have opted for hourly and 5 minute, only on these two time frames we will have these indicator plotted, 5 minutes and hourly. The group, as the this is a group, plotting is taking time, maybe because of the slower internet. So here there is now 5 minutes, but if I change it to 15 minutes, again you won't be seeing any plotting of the indicator, because we have specified hourly and 5 minutes as the two time frames on which we want this indicator to be available. Now I am reverting back to hourly. How much time is the graph? So here we are going back. Base period is not going to make much of a difference. So that's all from my side for this indicator. Benny, I hope you got this explanation, and if you are new to this indicator, I hope you will be able to easily use this indicator to figure out the trading opportunities and maximize your profit making possibilities, and minimize the losses. So if you have any query, guys, do write to me in the feedback, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time around with a equally interesting indicator to deal with, to work with, where I will try to explain to you the underlying concept, the logic, and also some of the representative examples of these indicators. So do come back tomorrow, same time around. See you next time. Thank you all for joining in. Goodbye. But how